Hi everyone, I am Samidha Hegde. I am interning with LEXIS and Company and I am a third year law student studying in Ramaya College of Law, Bangalore. And today we are going to be discussing about transfer by ostensible owner under Transfer of Property Act 1882. Now, ostensible means apparent or seemingly. That is, ostensible owner is a person who is not the real owner of the property but seems like the real owner of the property. Now suppose let's say in many occasions this happens. If I buy a property and I pay the consideration and I am the one who is buying the property, but if I buy the property in somebody else's name and that person also has later keeps the possession of the property, and it will appear like that person is the owner of the property. In that case, he will be the ostensible owner of that property. Now this transaction where I buy the property in somebody else's name is called a benami transaction, and that person who is the ostensible owner is nothing but benamidar. Now under section transfer by ostensible owner is discussed under section 41 of Transfer of Property Act, and according to this section it says that a valid transfer can be made by ostensible owner. That is, ostensible owner is not the real owner and ostensible owner can make the transfer of that property to some third party, and this transfer will be valid provided that certain conditions have to be fulfilled. And these conditions are: first, he has to be the ostensible owner. By that, it means that he cannot be a complete stranger to this transaction. He has to be the ostensible owner. That means he is someone who seems like the owner of the property, and the second condition is that there should be consent of the real owner. Now the consent can either be implied or express consent. It is not always necessary that I have to give consent in writing. It can also be implied consent. So, but there has to be some consent of the real owner, and that consent can be provided at any point of time. I may have said that you are allowed to sell this property at some point of time and totally forgotten about it, but that person has this consent from me that he has the authority to sell that property. Next, third condition is that there has to be some consideration. When this ostensible owner is going to transfer the property, there has to be some consideration. Now, transfer of property will take place through some contract, and as per Contract Act, you know that consideration is important and is absolutely necessary, and that means ostensible owner cannot transfer the property cannot transfer this property as a gift. He cannot gift the property. If he is making any transfer of the property, then it has to be for some consideration. Now also remember that this transfer by ostensible owner only pertains to immovable property, and this is not relevant for movable property. Now coming to fourth condition. Fourth condition is that the transferee, that is the person to whom you are transferring the property or the one who is purchasing the property, must have he must have done some due diligence, or he must have been careful, and he should believe that you are the real owner of the property. Now, like I told you, ostensible owner is someone who seems like the real owner but he is not the real owner, and that transferee or the purchaser should have believed that you are the real owner of the property. He should have exercised sufficient care, and after exercising that care, he should still believe that you are the real owner of the property. Now, if he knows that you are not the real owner of the property, then that transfer will not be valid, because you cannot take advantage of your own negligence. So this person must believe in good faith that you are the real owner of the ostensible owner is the real owner of the property. Now if all these conditions are present, then then ostensible owner can make a transfer, and this transfer will be held valid even if the real owner is disappointed or aggrieved by this transaction. Because so section 41 tries to protect the interests of the third party, the party who is innocent. This is because if the real owner was it is because of the real owner's negligence that he did not protest when the transfer was happening, or he did not complain or tried to stop this from happening. So it is because of his own negligence that this has taken place, and it should not affect the interests of the third party who innocently bought this property for some consideration. So they should not be affected, and that is why this section tries to protect the interests of that innocent party. Now that's all. I hope you understood transfer by ostensible owner, and I've also made other videos of various topics under Transfer of Property Act. Do check them out, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and press the notification button for more updates. Thank you.